Welcome back to the PHOTOMAFIA podcast. We have Vanessa here, who runs Indilocal. Vanessa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm from Indilocal, and it's an app to find street food trucks and local pop-up events near you. I guess it's kind of an app that came to mind on one of those days. It was like a Friday, couldn't be bothered to cook. Have you heard this story?
I haven't,
but
I
feel like I tell it all the time, but this is the legit story of how it started. It was Friday night, can't be bothered to cook. Drove to McDonald's and bought a burger. And then I said to my partner, let's at least just take it to a nearby park, make a date night of it. Took it to a park, and there was a food truck there. And I was like, if only I knew that you were here. Like, he had, like, the oven and, like, it was all, like, freshly made. So, I was like, if only I knew that you were here, I would have bought from you. And then I just said to the guy, like, how am I going to find you again? And he was like, well, sometimes I'm here on Saturdays and sometimes I'm somewhere else. And I was like, okay. So, go back home, have a think about it. And then I was like, there isn't really a way to find out where these food trucks are going to be popping up. And then I was like, there's loads of other little events that are happening that you stumble upon. You just walk past, like, a little festival or a local craft fair or an art show or something like that, and you're like, didn't know that was here. So then I was like, I'm going to do something about it. That's how it started.
God, if I knew you were around when, like, ice cream vans came to, like, the streets, you know what I mean? We always get excited when the ice cream van came to the street, and and there's always, like, rare occasions as well. So, but
I mean, that's part of it. That's in the vision somewhere as well. I'm like, one day I'm going to put the ice cream men on there too. But that's more expensive to put them on the app because they're, like, permanently moving. Whereas, like, food trucks, basically, I'm a slave to Google. I've got to pay Google for every single pin that I put on the map. But with food trucks, they park up once. That's one pin. With an ice cream truck, you're, like, permanently tracking them. So. But that is part of the plan as well.
Yeah, nice.
That would be cool.
That'd be pretty sick, that would.
And I love that it's, like, just such a natural progression. And so, like, it wasn't, like, it was literally a solution to, like, your own kind of, like, actually, that's something I'd use. So it just immediately has that kind of passion to it. Because it's like, you've come up with that yourself. And that's probably what makes it unique, because it's fine. Now that you've done it, it seems almost, like, painfully obvious. Like, why hasn't anyone done it?
Yeah, I mean, people have actually tried it before me. Like, when I was doing the research, there have been, like, one or two apps have popped up in the past that, like, have failed. And so when I've been looking into why that is, I think there's this big disconnect between trying to create something for the people, but then not actually speaking to the people.
Right.
And so somebody goes away, they chuck money at building an app, and then they're like, here you go, here's my app. And I realised that, nobody was really, like, doing any marketing behind it. Yeah. And so that's when I was like, right, how am I going to get in front of the people? Even before I had an app, I was like, I need to speak to this community. So basically set up an Instagram account. Indie.Northampton back in the day. Somebody screenshot it and they're still recycling that, like, Indie Northampton. I'm like, it's not anymore, it's Indie Local. But anyway, so I started off as an Instagram account, and I would just go around filming all of these food trucks that I could find, making cute videos about it, posting about it, and then saying, like, if you're looking for a food truck, this guy's trading here on Friday. And that, like, kind of built a bit of momentum, got a community going, got people interested in, like, actually physically seeing what is a food truck. Yeah. Because a lot of people just think, it's just a greasy old food truck. But actually, a lot of them are selling good quality food. They're really nice people. Yep. They're not all just, like, smelly, greasy burger vans. They're actually gourmet food. So, so it's, like, making a bit of a story behind what I'm doing so that there's a bit more weight behind just the app. So
That's cool. And like you say, like, these small vans are making good stuff, and it seems to be, like, a running theme in Northampton of small places making good stuff, and they're the ones who don't necessarily have the resources to push themselves. Like you were saying, you spoke to the food van guy and he's like, sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not. And it's like, okay, cool. But like, damn, it's like a more consistent way of finding it because they're competing with like, well, in your case, McDonald's. That's like, they get away with it because they're always there. And it's almost like this omnipotent like figure looming in the distance is like, but Northampton has kind of a habit of being hidden away, lots of interesting small places that, I don't know, in my head it's half the town, but it's probably more than that. Don't know half of the stuff exists.
Yeah. And one thing competing with big brand names, but it's another thing where like a lot of people are discovering stuff through social media. And even if you've got really sick content and you're posting out this cool stuff that you're doing, you're also fighting against an algorithm that is against you because, you know, you're not doing the trendy stuff or you're not this, you're not that, whatever. And so a lot of these like small businesses, small quirky places that are on our doorsteps are just getting pushed down the algorithm. And so, yeah, it's a lot of work to get in front of people. Yeah. You could scream as loud as you can, but nobody, you know.
Absolutely.
So this is where this app comes in, is I'm trying to make people visible to your local community, because ultimately, when you've got, you know, a cool space that is, you know, in the centre of Northampton, you want to attract the people that are on your doorstep. Like, there are some cool artists that would love to know about this place, but if they don't see you on social media or whatever, it's you have this like, oh, I didn't know you were here. Which we get
crazily a lot, right? Even with all of our, like, even in different services, like there's been a few, like there's people who are studio photographers who live across the street who only discovered us like a little while ago, and they're like, I've been traveling all the way out this way to do work with my clients, and you're across the road. Like, it's like, what?
I think the solution to that is to put a sign at the front.
I've seen you've got a big sign, and I liked how like up the stairs you've got your sign on every level, and I'm like, is it this level? Oh no, keep going.
With the trophy would even have the arrow. Because it is, it's trying to find us. Because these buildings are maze-like if you don't know where you're going. Like, you could get lost in here forever, I think, if you didn't know which direction you're going. But yeah, it's things like that, and it's like the beauty of your app. It's like a map, right? So it's something that, like, in the situation that you found yourself in, you open it and then you stumble across that stuff, and it's like, this is what's happening right now. Like, go, and that kind of eases people's pressure, because the other thing, people don't try and look because they assume it doesn't exist, and they're like, well, I'm just going to end up wandering around town all day and not stumble across anything. But there's way more of that stuff than you think, and it's stuff that people actually are after. And a lot of the times people will come to us and complain like, oh, if only there was this, and they were like, do you know this person? And they're like, no. And you're like, there you go, it's there. Like,
and it's also like, it's getting, I think people are generally curious. Like, we end up going to the same stuff all the time just because we don't know of anything else. But if I knew that there was other stuff to find, that I didn't have to like trump around for ages, that also plays into that, because it's like, I know people want to try different stuff, go see different things. In the early days, we had lots of people were messaging, being like, oh, you know, it's a Friday night, and they're like, I just want to go out with my girlfriend to watch some live music. Where can I go? And like at the time, I was like messaging everyone, like, does anyone know live music? Help, help, help. But like the vision is, I want you to come onto Indilocal, just be like, I just fancy something. It's like, it really is in the name, like independent. I want you to find indie stuff. But yeah, it's just knowing where to find it. I'm trying to like make it easier. It's hard work to make it easier, but
and the thing is, I also do you find it hard like driving people to like download the app and stuff like that, and because obviously they've got to do that before they find these places, you know what I mean? So
this is the thing, people don't like having too many apps. Nobody likes having too many apps, so there is a bit of an effort to get people to download the app. But this is where I like, we've put social as like our front and center of our marketing messaging, and it means that every time we publish a video about a cool food truck, even if you don't download the app, then you're just being reminded, if I'm looking for food trucks, I know to go to Indilocal. So just like, constantly reminding people. And I think, you can't, I mean, a lot of people that do have apps, they put lots of money behind, like, download the app, I will give you money to download my app. I mean, even my accountant was like, maybe you should just like give people vouchers to. I shouldn't really talk about it like this, but a lot of big businesses, that's part of the strategy. But I'm taking the slower route, and I'm like, I'm trying to build a bit of a culture around it, and like I want you to come to your own conclusion that I should go on the Indilocal app.
And that's probably wise as well, especially in a situation where it's like a solution to your own problem, because if you pumped all that money in and then got like the positive response, then suddenly all those issues that you can't foresee are suddenly way bigger, because instead of it being one person like, hey, I'm struggling with this, it's 10,000 people being like, what's wrong with it? Like, and then it's like a whole other stress.
Oh gosh, that's it. I've really tried to control, like, that sounds very controlling, but I've tried to control like where we're sending our message out to. With social media, you can go viral and you can end up on someone's feed that's ages away. But I've been really trying to make sure that we're starting with the Northampton area, so that I build out community in Northampton. I get all the food trucks and the local events on the app, so that when I speak to the Northampton people on social media, then they actually open the app and find something. Because the worst thing is, downloading and there's nothing near me because I'm in Scotland, and so it's...
Plus also, I guess, in Northampton, and you've put an emphasis on like talking to the people, like the people at the food trucks, because they're local to you, you can talk to them, as if you just launched worldwide and there's some guy in Thailand being like, hey, it'd be really good if this had it. It's kind of like a little bit harder to like communicate. So it just streamlines that process. And like you say, I guess it's better to build up volume in one place, so it looks impressive to most people. And it gives you kind of a test bed for ideas further down the line, because it seems like your plan is to go further than just food trucks.
Yeah, definitely. When we first launched, obviously the backstory is I wanted to find food trucks myself. But then when I launched the app, I left the door open and I said, any local events, put them in the app. And I was just watching people sign up and seeing like the local pub signed up. I had a guy who does pub quizzes. He's really cool, and he like puts all his different pub quizzes on. I've had musicians, Duncan Craven, shout out. He'll love it. But he puts his schedule of which pubs he's playing at. And I kind of just wanted to see who was interested in putting their stuff on there. So it's been a real mix. And the vision really is to be everything local. That is quite big, because there's so much going on. But I'm kind of just letting the market tell me what they want to find, and
then just branch it out. Like makes sense. It's probably the best way to go about it, really.
So you probably know about stuff that like we don't even know about, because it's like it's kind of like we try and find these things, and like obviously we meet people coming in here and they tell us about, oh, this is going on, that is going on, but you probably have seen some like interesting stuff pop up that you probably assume wouldn't even exist.
I'm trying to think like what random stuff. I mean, so this is a funny story actually. When I first launched the app, the way that you got your events into the app was basically I built like a connection to Google Calendar. So I said, link up your Google Calendar, and then any events that you've put in there that you want to see in Indilocal.
I'm already feel like there's going to be
and I had like, it started off quite like tame. I'd have people's like hairdressing appointments, and then I'd have like, go see Susie, and I'm like, who the hell's Susie, and why is she on the Indilocal app? Then I was like, are people putting, and I just realised, people were just putting their personal events.
Their calendars on there, like.
It's so funny. Oh god! So I was like, I have to change that, because there's this lady, and she bakes like cookies, and she's got it's in the, where did she do it? It's in the Workhouse. Do you know the Workhouse? Really cool little area. It's, you know, the big roundabout by the BMW garage, and
down by near the skate park.
Yeah,
like that way. Yeah.
So on that, just before you reach that roundabout, there is this little. Do you know?
Like the organic food place is there.
Okay. And they have these little sheds that people can rent out, and there's like a lady who's she sells. She's dog grooming, and then I think there's a musician in there, and there's my cookie lady. Okay. Anyway, I went off piste a bit, but this, bless her soul, she always put her, wherever she's popping up, her cookies. She was often at the Workhouse, but yeah, she once upon a time put a hair appointment, and on the map it was like cookies, and I was like, oh, where's the location? Oh, that's a hairdresser. So I messaged her, I was like, Sherilyn, did you mean to put this on the app? She was like, oh my god, no, sorry. So yeah, seen some fun stuff, but that's all part of the journey, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The process. Yeah. I'm wondering if anyone had like just a personal meeting of other people turning up like, what?
Where are my cookies?
Yeah, like
I came for the cookies.
But yeah, because it's interesting to know that you've got musicians and other things popping up on there, because obviously just before the podcast, I assumed it was just food trucks, which for some like us, and I'm thinking of other people we know in the town, like that suddenly becomes a very valuable resource for like changing the face of the town almost, and creating access.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. And I speak to, again, artists all the time. I've got a few friends who are like musicians in the town, and like just shouting about what they do, and this can be quite hard. So there's like phases to how I'm going to approach it, but essentially, I want to invite everybody who's popping up, doing whatever they're doing, to have their own profile, that you just share your profile and say, hey, if you want to know where I'm going to be, follow me on Indilocal, and then my schedule's there. Okay. And it's not just a calendar, it's also map-based. And one of the things that we're just about to roll out is, if you like someone on the app, if you follow somebody, you can opt in to get notified if they've got a gig coming up or something. And so it's like, did you know that this guy is going to be here on Friday? So your fans are like being reminded that you exist.
That's pretty cool.
Which is what people want, right? Because in this, like, even for us, we do an exhibition, make a post, we send it to certain people who we know will be interested, and we still get asking like, when's the next one? And I was like, we definitely sent it to you last week, dude. Like, you know when it is. I've told you in person. It's like, but it is just like, that's part of the game, like getting through to people. So like something like yours, which also shows where it is as well, and like, reminding people is another battle people have to face, because like even Instagram doesn't show it to everyone anymore, and people are like, oh, I follow you, and it's like, you could, like, you need to stalk us a bit more, and then it will show up.
It really is. Like, social media has just it's just like, it's really stifled a lot of creativity, but it's also stifled a lot of visibility. There's like, it started off as, here's a place to go and see what your friends are doing, share their art. It was photography, wasn't it? It was like sharing cool photography. Now it's a competition of who can do the most shocking things, or who can create the most reaction. And it just gets really tiresome. So, I mean, Jingwei, bless her soul, so Jingwei is my content creator. And she's like, right, come on, we need to get some more visibility. This is the trend that you're going to do. She's like, I'm going to film you doing this. And I'm like, oh my God, please no. And she's like, Vanessa, just do it. Trust me, we'll get views. I'm like, oh, okay. And she's right. It does work. But it means that I have to stand on camera doing something stupid.
Yeah, absolutely,
And that's also the other thing we find, like everyone who, it's like, there's people who do really well on social media, and almost without fail at some point, they're just like, to do it, and it's just so, I don't really think it's that special, but it's like, it's weird, it's like the stuff we hate doing is what works on social media, but even though the stuff that's trending on social media is generated by what people like to watch, so you'd think in that it would make more sense than being like, do we just enjoy people doing stuff that we think sucks? Like, it makes no sense. Like, because obviously we run our own social pages. We used to have someone who did a lot for us and was like, grateful for him for what he did. But even when he was here, it was like, okay, how do we keep a balance of like not feeling like idiots dancing on the internet? Because it's like at some point we're spending more time doing that than actually like doing stuff, and like you say, it ends up stifling creativity because it's like, this would be so cool to do. If it's not going to do well on Instagram, so suddenly it's not worth doing, which is like ridiculous when you didn't set out to do your brand to become like an Instagram person. You know what I mean? It's how like balancing that is such a difficult thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so download the Indilocal app, because that's what I'm trying. It's like I don't want people to have to scroll through Instagram. Just you find out about where you are on the map.
Absolutely.
So also we wanted to touch on your connection to Northampton, because obviously you wouldn't do an app like this if you didn't have some connection to the town.
So I'm actually from Milton Keynes, born and bred. And when I was younger, like growing up as a teenager, we used to look at Northampton like, oh, Northampton. God. And yeah, it was true. Like, everyone used to feel like Northampton was like a bit of a dive, because we were brought up in this concrete city that was brand new and everything was squeaky clean. As I got older, I realised how soulless that meant that we were. And I visited Northampton a few times, and I'd like walk down the street and be like, pub, bar, like Crawford, this, that. There was so much, and I was like, why on earth did I think that this place was a dive? It was because I just was brainwashed to think that clean concrete, lovely. But yeah, I moved here like 10, 11 years ago, and every day I'm finding something new. And I'm now championing it. And I'm saying to my friends in Milton Keynes, like, you guys are missing out, because we got all the culture over here. Like, the entrepreneurial spirit in this town is like unmatched. Everyone, there's way more creativity. People, there's so many musicians, artists. Again, street food trucks. We've got so many street food trucks here. They're people who have a vision for something, and they've got the means to give it a go. And I think also because it's like cheaper to do stuff here as well, it means that it is easier to give it a go.
We're not restricted in that aspect, and I think it is that old, it's a shithole kind of reputation we developed.
But it's our shithole.
And then just trying to change that in a little bit.
It's like everyone has that drive of like, well, there's nothing here, so, but it becomes like, well, what's your excuse, right? Because like, what, you're going to sit and moan about it for the rest of your life? Like, well, if you don't like it, you've got two options, like leave or do something about it. And I think there's a very big growing culture of people are going, okay, I'm going to do something about it, which I don't know how long it took for people to finally take that kind of bait, rather than, because for a long time it was just, we'll leave. And then I think some people were like, no, there's pockets of things, and then trying to build it and get people to communicate, which is, again, what your app is doing brilliantly, because even from that, if people can see it all, and then obviously I'm sure other food trucks find about other people, and then you build a community and they can help each other rather than feeling like competitors.
Exactly. This is such a big point. Like, initially I was like, I do realise that what I'm doing is I'm saying to all the vendors that you are going to be next to your competitors. But what's actually happened is that people are supporting each other. They're seeing each other on the map. They're seeing them on our socials, and they're like, oh, he's actually a nice guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still competition between some of the trucks. Some of them really clash. But on the whole, I think people, especially in Northampton, are realising that we're so much better when we like work together. And that goes across the board. It's not just the food trucks, it's the creatives, the musicians who come together and like say, oh, do you know what, let's like put a song together. Because maybe it comes back to this like social media thing. God, I hate that they like rule everything, but you know, if you collaborate with people on social media, your reach is better.
Yeah.
But it's the same in real life. When you speak, you know, when you connect people together, everyone's got their own little circles, and if you're bringing those circles together, you're only going to improve your own situation. So, I think there's definitely strength in numbers, and just recognizing that, there might be a lot of competition, but really you're better off supporting each other, because the more you can spotlight your own industry, the better it is for the whole industry to come up, whatever industry that is.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it, and that's like kind of been our message as well. Like, we never wanted to be a studio that kind of like pushed out other photographers and tried to be like, no, it's us two, like, don't talk to them over there, like, just stay with us, because it's like, that's why we did
photography is very gatekeepy anyway. The industry is quite gatekeepy, so we kind of wanted to change that a little bit.
And it just kind of becomes a bunch of separated out people who all feel like they're like, it kind of, and I'm sure food trucks have it as well, or any industry, like that idea of like, we've got to hold on because we don't have a lot, and it's all going to be taken away from us, which isn't the truth. Because like in the food truck example, if someone else goes to another food truck and has a good experience, and then it's like, oh, we're all going to be at this other one, people are then, it becomes like a cultural thing that people are coming to these food trucks consistently. And okay, fine, they may also be buying donuts from that guy, but they're going to come back to you again, rather than it being like, cool, they went once and I was the one they came to, perfect. It's like they've come 10 times and 5 times they've come to me, which is so much better.
Yeah.
Cut that part out. Just put my phone on mute, if it's going to let me.
But no, it's interesting, because we had, was it yesterday we had John on? From Brooklyn Brownie.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
You had John on?
Well, he came in like 2 years ago, and he did a podcast with a company, what was a company called Student Dot. And he did like a podcast with them, and then we're like, John, I wonder how John's doing now. So we got him on. So, but yeah, no, he's
such a dude. I love him so much. He is so, and he is like, again, going back to like supporting others. He is all about that. Like, he recognizes strength in numbers, and I mean, I can't remember when I first came across him, but he's been so supportive of this whole thing. Anytime I have troubles, or like I need to ask a question about like real industry knowledge, I'll give him a call and he'll send me like a 5-minute voice note back. And he's so good like that. And just having those champions who really do, you know, they don't think they're better than anyone else, but the fact that he's going out there and he's bringing people together, it's like he's building community.
Absolutely.
So yeah, people like him are just, that's what creatives, what food industry, you know, everyone needs to come together, and having those champions is like so important.
And especially in a place like Northampton, where it kind of has had a bit of a rep for being a somewhat hostile place, like, you know what I mean, like, and I think, just trying to break down those barriers and get people to just talk to each other, which seems simple on paper, but actually is quite a difficult thing to like create the means for that to happen. And because then they go and do something, and then that brings them up, and then it all benefits the whole, right? In the end of the day, like, and I think people get a bit scared of that, but John is, he's just a great dude, like, just good, just incredible energy, like, and just doing cool stuff, and doing it with like purpose and thought, and he's super rad. And like
I can't believe you had him on the show. I can't wait to watch that. So when's that one going to come out?
We haven't done the scheduling for these lot yet, so it's at some point in the near future. It's like I've lost track of how many we've done this like in this block. So but it will be soon. But back to the app to review another episode on this one. But and it's interesting you have that perspective on the town from coming from somewhere else, because a lot of people kind of have a weird relationship with it, and like you mentioned as well, like learning to love it. So how long did it take for you to
I think so I used to live right in the centre. We lived off Barrack Road. We were overlooking the racecourse, which should be a really nice place, right? You're on the racecourse, it's really lovely. Yeah. But yeah, there were a few times I'd walk home and I'd be really scared or whatever. We've seen some stuff. So like initially when I first moved here, I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. But it really comes back to that, like the brick and mortar culture that we've got, these pubs, right? So I'd walk to the Elephant and then just on the other side of the racecourse. Yeah. Oh my God, you just meet these cool people, you see them every Friday, that sort of thing. Like that's something that is like very Northampton. It's like, yes, okay, there are some rough edges, right? But when you go into these little quirky areas where people will congregate to drink beer or eat food or make music or watch art or whatever, that's where the culture is in all these little pockets. That places like Milton Keynes, it's just way too expensive to open up any sort of independent place. Like, yes, they do have independent places in Milton Keynes, but they're so much more expensive, so you don't see as many of them. So yeah, it started off really of like going to little pubs and watching live music. V&B, love like cheese and wine and watch some music. Like how many towns?
It's pretty good to
it's
be fair,
pretty cool, right?
It's pretty cool.
Wig and Pen, I love going to the Wig and Pen. Live music.
Have you
dancing around.
You've been to the Garibaldi yet?
Yes, love Garibaldi. Love that place. Yeah.
Really
they
cool.
signed up to the app and I'm just waiting for them to upload their events. But I don't know if you know the guy that...
Oh, Tom?
Is it Tom?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's messaged before and I'm like, get your events on the app.
Yeah, you'll get loads off of him. He does it like monthly as well, so you just put them out.
I think you so much.
Yeah.
It's like, because like Friday, Saturday night there's music. And then Saturday daytime there's music. I think they do Sunday music. It's like
I love it.
Every week there's stuff going on.
And then they have a karaoke night as well, which is a bit wild.
But I think, like you said about MK being like so expensive, it's like the benefit here is like the price of it. And I think that's why we have, like you say, so many interesting businesses. Because also if you're opening a place that's expensive, you have to kind of play it safe.
Yeah, that's it.
People can experiment here.
Yes.
And that's what makes, like, the Garibaldi does loads of wild stuff, and it's like you never really know what you're going to walk into when you go in there. And that's like part of the fun. I think that creates kind of like what we say, like the culture of Northampton. Yeah. Which, yes, comes with the rough edges. But a little bit, that's
like most places.
Yeah,
that's it. All Milton Keynes is the same. Everywhere you've got that.
The dodgy areas of Milton Keynes.
Yeah. But I think that comes down to like a big, and I'm not into politics, but like that's a bigger power play in there. That's the government messing around with rich and poor and that sort of thing. But
pretty much, yeah.
Well, that's why it's so important to like the whole idea of independence and community, right? Because it totally just, not to get any like political as it was, but it like just completely jumps over that, right? Because it's like, okay, they can go do whatever they're doing over there, but we'll just do this, and you can kind of to an extent ignore it, right? And just be like, okay, do what you will, we don't give a shit. And like, and I think that's like the spirit of Northampton a little bit, and we do have a history of it, you know what I mean? Like, what Gunpowder Plot was us, so it's like okay, we might as well live up to the reputation, I suppose. So it's that interesting thing of just like really doubling down on that now. And I think over the last since COVID almost, right, it's like that seemed to something switched in a lot of people's minds, I think, where they were like, okay, like reassessed everything, and there seems to be a real like growth and push in other places in the world as well in that direction. And I think like what you're doing with the app doubles down on those ideals and like makes them more accessible for people, because also we do have a habit of hiding all the good stuff. And so where the people who like maybe aren't willing to walk into like a random industrial building because there might be something there, and it's like for the I don't want to say less adventurous, that sounds mean, but like some people need a bit, but some people need a little reassurance that they're not going to like, fall into accidentally be like, oh, I thought this would be cool, and it is one of those rough edges to like.
Which you're gonna get all the time. Like, I've been to some really cool events, and then some also really like questionable events. But like some of the cool ones were, like for example, coffee brewers. And they invited a bunch of people into their warehouse, which is literally just on a warehouse estate, like big shuttered things. And I was like, what are we doing here? This is so weird. Turned up, there's like a DJ playing in the corner. That we're like amongst all the coffee beans and all the grinders and all of this stuff.
Was that Yellow Bourbon, or was that a different one?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay,
it was Doe and Fawn Coffee. This is actually in, they're Woburn based, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had like, it was so cool. We were in this warehouse with all these coffee beans around us and these like ginormous coffee grinders. And they had like a little party and we had pizzas and it was like...
That's pretty cool.
That was so cool. And like, yeah, you just... Those are things that are on the outside a scary warehouse, but on the inside you've got this like really cool party.
And it's things that don't happen in the more kind of... Like, because I guess you're seeing a little bit of the behind the scenes. You feel like you're kind of part of it. You get brought into the story and the journey, and like I think that's what Northampton does really well, is because everything's kind of growing still. There's nothing that's kind of like, the exciting part is you see someone like John, for example. It's like 2 years ago, and then you come back and it's like, oh, it's grown to this level now, and it's like, oh, you're doing like, or even like if roll back before we met John, like I'm sure people at that 2 years ago point, like, you have an ambulance now? Like, what? It's like, it's exciting to see people doing different stuff and like how they change it and what they do that kind of, because I don't know I don't see Costa doing a warehouse party, you know what I mean? That's like, you get such a unique kind of insight with going along with that and not being afraid of those questionable moments that do happen, but...
I think that's also like going back to the Northampton being like a test bed, right? There is this culture of like people giving their space to share with others, to have a go at something. I saw you had Becky on the pod.
Creative Place.
Creative Place, And like what she's doing is she's like got this place in the centre of Market Square, and she's like, yeah, if you're a creative, like let me know what you think we should do with this space. Like I love that. Or V&B saying, we've got this really cool location. We've obviously got the prime spot in the centre of town. Why didn't you host your events here? You know, they open the doors to people. And I think Northampton is very welcoming for letting other people have a go. And when you have more of that, there's like, people become more confident to give stuff a go. Whether that's trying music or art or whatever. But
And as well, figuring out what works and what doesn't a little bit as well, because like as we've gone along, it's just like, well, when we first moved in here 3.5 years ago, we weren't like, let's open a bookshop upstairs. Like to some people it doesn't make perfect sense, but like through the community we've built, it's like, well, there's an interest there and there's a culture that exists, and we can connect the people who are doing it here to the rest of the world doing it. Like, why not do that thing? Maybe that's our place to do that, you know what I mean? And then that's how you end up with these businesses that do have kind of different stuff going on at once. Like the Creative Place is very open at the moment. I think, but that's exciting because you'll probably take pieces that work and then remove what doesn't, and then you end up with something totally unique that can't be really defined. Like same with the Garibaldi as well, right? There's a karaoke room that popped up in the basement. There's like
I love it.
Exhibitions in the
in the pool room. Or the retro games night.
The random retro games.
Like retro
so
games,
cool.
so good.
I loved it. I really loved it. And like having different food on their menu all the time. Like they brought out Taco Tuesday. I don't know if I just remember that, but like that's quite cool. Like just doing something different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because when you try to explain to someone, like someone's like, well, there's nowhere else you can get Mexican food in Northampton, really. And also, like, what do you mean it's in this like random pub? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like totally unique things that you just can't get anywhere else, which is what makes it fun. That's why we're still here, right?
Yeah. Do you go to Charles Bradlaugh?
Have done a few times.
Because they do a lot of like live music and stuff. And
they do comedy nights as well, just
comedy, pub quiz.
Do they do the like band karaoke? It's like karaoke with a live band, yeah, which is such a
that's so cool.
such thing.
That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually been yet. I feel really bad because I keep on seeing them and I keep on saying I want to go, but I haven't been yet. I think it's like on a school night, on a uni, like it's one of their uni nights.
So wait till term time's over and then then it's fine.
I mean, I would go longer. I don't know if I'd like fit
in. I'd be curious to ask then, like, if someone's asking for recommendations, where do you point people?
I guess most of the places that I've said, so like, I love the mix of like music and food. I'm obviously a big foodie, like. I'm building an app to find street food trucks. But then when it's mixed with music, the V&B, Wig and Pen, Garibaldi and the Charles Bradlaugh, they're like, to me, that I'd pick that over a nightclub any day. And I have been like that since like, you know, after uni, I was like, done with clubbing. I just want to like enjoy some live music, eat some good food. Yeah. And then I guess like Northampton has really cool buildings in that cultural quarter. And even just like walking around those and looking at like cool architecture. Again, maybe it's because I come from Milton Keynes, but we don't have that.
Because Milton Keynes is a lot more modern, isn't it?
It's so modern and new. I think it's only about 50, 60 years old, so it's so new. But just spending time looking at like old stuff. Do I sound really old? It's like, cool. Hey guys, what should we do in front? Let's go look at old buildings. I'm so fun.
No, but we do have, I think that's the benefit of the town. Like, there's so much like new stuff, and there is like, you know, there's a history of a bit of like brutalist architecture here and stuff came from the 80s, but there's also some of the stuff that's like super old. Like, there's a deep history here as well, which actually like I haven't thought about too much, which is probably bad as someone who's like lives here and grew up here, but like it is there, and it's like actually quite an interesting past we have. Which when you start saying it yourself, you do sound a bit like a nerd, don't you? But hey.
I'm still learning about, so like again, I feel like I'm still quite new here, but every day there's like, oh yeah, did you know about like that art place down the road? What's it called? The one on
from here, or just
not
a metaphorical road?
That was a metaphorical down the road. It was the museum at the end of the Guildhall. Not the national, not the shoe museum. The other one,
the Contemporary. No, not the Contemporary. The
end
it's
of
like
the Guildhall.
House. Oh gosh, I'm probably getting.
Oh wait, do you mean the Derngate, the 78 Derngate?
Yeah. Like I only really discovered that recently.
Yeah.
So many cool places that we've got.
I can't remember the number. Yeah, because that's the Charles McIntosh one, who's like super famous Art Deco, and we have like, I think we've got one of two of his buildings that are in the country that are like left, and I think the other one's like a replica because it burnt down or something. Yeah. So we've got like the only real one, and that's another one. No one cares.
Yeah. Your building knowledge is like.
That's another one. It's the top corner of like Midsummer Meadow, the park that takes you to the university. Yeah.
Another cool place by the that I would like discovered. You know, by the skate park, there's a little boat.
Oh, the Ark?
Yeah, the Ark. How cool! Like a boat with, like they have comedy nights there, and like.
Is it still a restaurant?
I don't know if it's still. I don't know what they're doing there now, but
that's another cool. I mean, that area. That's another one that no one would even think anywhere. Like, it's a boat. Yeah. How they got it there, I have no clue. Like, it's like impressive on its own. But that's another really interesting one, and like. I mean, that area is full of them as well. I mean, the skate park itself is like important piece of like history there as well. Like,
little side tangent. One of I discovered a street food boat instead of like street food trucks. Right. This guy, he's got a burrito boat, and he just travels around like the country. And
like a canal one?
Like a canal boat. And he just sells, I mean, he's only going like 5 miles an hour, but he sells burritos out of his boat. And I was like, that is so cool. Because he lives on that boat, and then just when he feels like it, he'll just serve up some burritos out the window. I just love it.
That's pretty cool.
So cool. Yeah.
I know there's a cheese one in Stoke Bruin from a canal boat as well.
Cheese?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What? Where?
On
a boat?
Yeah, on a canal boat. I saw him one. I'd have to go and do some proper tracking down because I'll find out it was like he was on holiday and he's not really from
cheese?
it. Yeah, like just selling cheese.
Cool.
Like, well, actually, no idea. He must have a base operation because there's no way you're making cheese on a boat because that's like crazy. But yeah,
I need to find the boatman. Yeah. That's so cool. I just really appreciate people who just get up, give stuff a go. Like that is so. Again, it's that independent culture. It's that independent drive of just whatever it is, giving it a go. Yeah. The weirder the better.
Yeah, and in any format you're handed, right? Like not trying to be like, okay, if I want to do this, I need to find the perfect idealized version of it, because that's how you end up with like, why not a boat, right?
Yeah,
like, pretty sure there's a tattoo parlor on a boat as well.
Cool.
Yeah, which is another
Although
one.
that sounds a bit like, whoa.
Yeah, a bit scary, but you know.
It's like,
But, and another person who we've been talking to who's a prime example of something like that is like, do you know about the food library?
Yeah. Where are they? I've seen them.
He's like a 5-minute walk from here.
And he like grows everything in the back garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And his
so
idea
cool.
was like, what can you do with a house? And it's like basically become like a pub and restaurant and just fine dining out of it. And like,
I think it's a library, an actual library as well. Because
that's
loads
so
of
cool.
Yeah, with like cookbooks and stuff. He's real interesting. And then he has a little spot across the road that's like this old glassworking factory. And he's like turning it into like, I think he wants to open a restaurant in there, but it has like a bar area where he does workshops and a little allotment out back where he grows everything that he can't fit in the garden, basically.
Oh my gosh,
but it's so cool.
Does he live there as well?
Yeah, he lives in the house. And he's just like, go around and he's just like making stuff and like doing things. I love
that. That is so cool.
And it's like another one that like you'd never heard of. And it's...
He should be on my map.
Yeah, he should.
100%.
Every time I think of, I'm like, I need to speak to them and get them on my map.
But he's really cool as well. Yeah, there's so many. We had someone at the last exhibition who, I think the girl was from Northampton, and it was like her boyfriend who had like just moved here, and they were asking like us about stuff, and we listed off stuff we didn't even think was that hidden. They're like, I've never heard of any of this, and it's like, it is like, the app's just so good, dude. Like, it's so necessary. Like,
I think this is also like coming back to like why people are like proud of being in Northampton is because you have so many moments where you're like, oh yeah, we've got this cool thing, we've got this cool thing, and you just you then feel this like some sort of like pride, right? That where you live is cool because you can have so many hidden gems.
Yeah,
and
yeah, hidden gems is the word, and that's the thing with like when people talk about trying to like take the town to the next level, which in terms means not even getting people here, it's just getting the people here to actually like know about the stuff. Like a lot of people talk about very, very expensive solutions, like moving everyone to the high street or like just crazy stuff. As your app means that it still keeps you can still be in like a hidden location or be moving constantly.
Yeah.
But you've simplified the method for people to find it. Yeah, and it's like in a way that's not as expensive as moving everyone to the high street or moving the town around entirely or restructuring. It's it's sick.
I really want it to be like, I went to uni at Coventry, and like all of my friends were all scattered around the country, and so we'd meet up in different, like we'll be in Manchester or London, and like I want that to be something that you refer to when you go to somewhere you don't know, but you want to go to the quirky places, and you don't you don't know where to go, so you just open the Indilocal app in a new place, and you're like, oh, there's a cool hidden gem that I wouldn't have known if I. So yeah, it's like really intentional. I'm really building it for myself ultimately. Like, I just want this app for myself, so I can use it with my friends. But
I think there's a lot of other people like that though, that are just like, yeah, because how many times have I've gone to other places and like you're Googling for stuff and it's just the same shit everywhere, because it's, you know, the same 5 chain brands that can afford to pop up on the map first.
It's who can afford. That's the thing, is it's always competing for money, and I'm trying to make it so it's not about who's got the biggest advertising budget. Like, it shouldn't be like that, but the way the internet and social media and everything, it ultimately comes down to who's generating the most money will give you the most visibility. Whereas I'm trying to say, no, it shouldn't be about who's got the most money. It should be who's local to you, really. So yeah.
And just leveling the playing field, right?
Yeah, it's just making it more, level.
Which is a great thing. So I think we've covered everything we wanted to without just repeatedly saying how sick this idea is. But
is there anything you want to say?
I love Northampton. Thanks for having me. It's
thank you for coming on.
This is such a cool space as well.
Thank you.
Love seeing the studio and meeting you guys. It's been really nice to chat.
It's been nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's been
Thank
wicked.
you.
Cheers.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
Cool.